No Menthol Sunday is the Center for Black Health and Equity's National Faith-Based Observance Day. It's a time where we try to get faith leaders from all over the country to have those tough conversations about the role of menthol in their communities. And we rely heavily on coalitions and on states like Wisconsin to really blow it out of the water. Of course, just as someone who has been at the first stage, it was this whole observance day started off with Delmonte Jefferson, our executive director, and myself in a parking lot. And he said, we need to have a No Menthol Sunday day, just like World No Tobacco Day, and let's go make it happen. And I didn't know what we were going to do as a first step, but as a first step, we built this toolkit that we're going to show you today. That was back in 2015. And since then, partners like all those who are here on the panel have really taken the concepts and those materials to another level. And I love to see it. I'm excited and proud to say that last year we had about 37 states involved. We want to see every single state do it the way Wisconsin does it. But when you look online and to see the kind of media that we're getting, we are reaching hundreds of thousands of people with this message. So just know that your work is never in vain, even if you don't see that traction the way that you want to see it right away. We have a couple of goals with No Menthol Sunday, and I want to share those with you really quickly before we go into the parts of the toolkit. Number one, with No Menthol Sunday, we love to make sure that we are promoting culturally competent cessation tools and materials that resonate with Black audiences. At the Center for Black Health and Equity, you know, this event is all about working with the Black church and those people who are believers of whatever faith. It's an interfaith effort, but definitely using those leaders and those trusted voices inside those spaces is really necessary for helping those who want to quit and guiding them in places where they will get the message. The next thing we want to do always is what this panel has done so beautifully, is to keep every single generation in remembrance of the evils of the tobacco industry and their lies and the way they try to snatch our real legitimate issues and twist it to their own benefit. We want to make sure that young people are not duped and not confused about who the tobacco industry is when they see it take other forms like vaping and the like. And then thirdly, we love that No Menthol Sunday is a real way to encourage advocacy, because within people's faith-based spaces, there's already a level of trust, and many faith-based organizations have already established credibility with their communities. This is a place where people can learn a little bit about menthol and its role in our community and move straight into action. And so we like to be able to equip people with what you'll see in the toolkit today so that they can just get started. In your faith-based community, especially in the traditional Black church, you already have a place, you already have volunteers, you already have a table or a bulletin board or something. You may have a social media platform or two. So we encourage, especially a lot of churches, they even have access to AM radio stations. So we encourage you to take the poetry you heard today and place it. Take the imagery that's available in the toolkit and stick it somewhere. Make sure that these images and these messages get out to our community, because just like was shared earlier, many smokers, even in our own families or people who don't smoke, who just love a smoker, our people don't always understand what's happening on the political front. They don't understand the tactics of the tobacco industry. They don't know how the tobacco industry has infiltrated and marketed us. And so a lot of times what we think was just a personal choice, No Menthol Sunday is the time where we get to tell people the truth so that they can be motivated to take action. So we love to see that. We want to encourage you all to do that. When you are working with your communities, I want to make sure that you involve Sister Harriet Nim. Okay, you know who that is. That is maybe the retired nurse in your church. She's probably an elder. She usually wears a big hat or a white coat. You know who she is. And she always has the ear of the pastor. Okay, we want to make sure that she's involved because she's not afraid to talk about hard issues. And she already knows a lot about how to fight, right? The next group you want to make sure stays involved is going to be what we call the woke ones. You know the woke ones, these are your college students, your high school students. They're always mad and angry about something. Put this information in their hands, okay? Because they are not afraid to challenge and make a whole lot of noise all over the digital internets and the interwebs, okay? So let's let them go into action. Make sure you involve your young people. And then thirdly, I suspect a lot of people here on this call are a part of what we like to call Mr. or Miss Coalition Builder, right? Those folks who know how to pull together multiple churches, multiple denominations. You've got the state tobacco control department in your backyard who's already has deliverables, you can use No Menthol Sunday as a way to reach some of those tobacco control deliverables that you may already have. We know that you already know who the nonprofits are in your community. So work with your coalitions, get together, think about how you want to observe No Menthol Sunday, make it your own. That's really all I had to share with you today. I want to just emphasize our theme for the year, which is bold awareness. Okay, we want you guys to be brass. Okay, the tobacco industry has always been that way, so we've got to be that way too. We are in the fight to the finish. Like has already been said, it looks like we're about to see some real movement this year. But whether or not that comes, we are going to keep fighting and we are going to stick it out. And I don't want us to shrink back thinking that the federal level, the FDA is just going to take it away. I want us to stay on our grind and stay in the ring. Michael, will you please share the pieces of the toolkit?
Thank you so much, LaTroya. Appreciate that. And what would we be doing if we send you into a fight without tools? So what I'm going to do is walk through the toolkit that LaTroya talked about, and I'm going to show you a number of resources that are available for you regardless of where you are. We have some things that are available locally for Wisconsinites, and then we also have things that can be used nationally throughout the country regardless of your location and what organization you're serving. So for this, I'm going to share my screen with you, and at the end, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can go about getting the tools and the resources that you need to begin doing the work. So LaTroya talked about the toolkit. This is the national toolkit that has a number of resources and links inside of it, which is going to give you access to all the things that you need to download. Some of the things inside of the toolkit are going to include our planning tools. So we have a 10-day at a glance. If you're someone who's working within an organization and community and you're wondering, like, how do I really take action and how do I support this initiative? This is something that you can use to kind of help plan activities up until the day of No Menthol Sunday, which is going to be on May 15th. You're more than welcome to take this, mix and match, do it the way that works for you and your community. But this is just a little tool to help you get some ideas about how you can proceed and use the items that we provide in the toolkit. We also have a order form that I'm going to be sharing with you at the end of my presentation here. So if you're in Wisconsin and you want to put together some activities and you're going to be leading groups of people within your community with the No Menthol initiative and you want to wear the t-shirt to represent, we have a way for you to be able to order t-shirts. A lot of you who are here inside of the webinar have already registered and provided us with your size. So we'll make sure that you get that. So this is going to be something that's available as our thank you for supporting our work. The next thing that we're going to have is also signage and posters. So we have lawn signs that are printed up that you can place in front of your organization or in front of your home. That's going to allow people to scan that QR code and take them to the National No Menthol Sunday website so that they can read more about the campaign and get access to the resources. In addition to that, we have social media graphics, and that's something that is already available on our website, which we'll also make available to everyone again who registered so that you can start spreading the word and raising some awareness about No Menthol Sunday. There we go. You've already heard from Shai, one of our spoken word artists. We also have Ajamu, who's going to be joining us as well. But we have these brochures that we have printed out, but are also available digitally. So with the digital version, there's a link inside where you can actually download the audio recording of them reciting the poems. You can use this in a number of different ways, especially if you have access to online website, or maybe you're doing some social media activity. Use these in your reels, use this on your videos. You can use this on a radio station if you need to be able to submit that for an ad. We have a number of different ways for you to use the audio files as well as the brochures that are part of the kit. All right, retailer engagement. This is a huge one. So we talked about, who is responsible for what, and where do we focus our efforts. One of the things that we've been able to do very well in the state of Wisconsin is focus on retailer engagement, not chastising them for selling tobacco products, but educating them about the problem and the initiatives, and then giving them tools that they can use to be able to figure out, like, how can I support this work and how can I take a role in this? So our retail engagement, our toolkit for that is going to be available for those who want to go to their local retailers, start that conversation. We have a number of retailers in the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County who are going to be hanging No Menthol Sunday posters and who have agreed to not sell menthol products on No Menthol Sunday. We also have the palm cards. So we talked about the tip from former smoker. These are printed palm cards that you can hand out at events and you can use within your organization. You can also post them as social media content. Again, we have posters that can be hung up in retailers, but can be also hung up inside of your organization just to bring some awareness and some education to people who see them. We have things for youth, kids, young adults, adults. This is something that we are very proud of. Every year people love, love, love the coloring book. Every year we feature a different artist for the coloring book. This year is an artist out of the city of Milwaukee named Shami, who has designed the coloring pages that you'll see inside of the coloring book. We have printed copies of these. So if you want to bring these to your organization, distribute them, and get people together to have a coloring party, that's something that you'll be able to do. We'll be able to get those provided to you. And then in addition to that, for those of you who are located in the city of Milwaukee, we already have a date secured. So Shami has agreed to take it to the next level and not just draw the pictures that are inside the coloring book, but she's also going to host a coloring party, which is something that she's been doing for the past couple of years within the city of Milwaukee. This is going to be done at the Quality of Life Center in the Milwaukee on May 14th at noon. So if you're in the city and you want to bring family and friends or help promote, this is the event that you can do that for. In addition to the coloring party, there's going to be a lot of other activities going on. There'll be vaccinations going on for those who need it. There'll be food provided, so it'll be a nice family-friendly day. Feel free to join us for that, and we'll make sure we make it nice and easy for you to share that information when the time comes to start setting up the registration.